Welcome to another edition of the SU Coaches Corner. I'm your host, Gian Fabian, and today I'm joined by the head coach of the women's volleyball team, Coach Tom. Nice having you.
Thanks for having me.
So, early in the preseason, you lost All-American Hannah Lyons due to a knee injury early in a scrimmage. What players did you have in mind that have stepped up for the team so far since her absence?
Well, you know, it's always something you're thinking about as a coach. There's contingencies in case something happens to some of your players. We had some players on the bench that can get the job done. We brought in for a time Paige Ferudis, who did a nice job for us, and then Cody Dillon, and they did some time in the beginning, and we're working through the things that work for the best chemistry on the team, and depending on what we need. So we had some pretty good kids step up, and now Veronica Kirchner, who's a senior, has really found her way onto the court and has assumed that role that was left behind by Hannah.
Your team recently had a phenomenal performance at the Hampton Inn Riverhawk Classic, especially against two nationally ranked teams, them being Ithaca College and Clarkson University. You've been in this position numerous of times, but the real question is what is the key to preparing your team for such a big day like this?
We try to prepare for every game the same. Doesn't matter who's on the other side of the court. If you're not prepared to play on your side of the court, a high school team's going to come in and beat you. So we don't put a lot of emphasis on the teams that are on the other side. We just know they're going to be strong, and we know that we have to do our things. Preparation-wise, we look at some video, look at their stats, scout them a little bit, try to figure out where we can exploit their weaknesses and do well on our side of the court. But mostly it's looking at us and how we're going to manage the things once the ball gets over on our side of the net.
So you've had numerous successful seasons, evidently, as the head coach of the women's volleyball team. What coaching tactics do you use to continue the ongoing success of the program?
One of the biggest things, and people have heard me say this numerous times before, is culture. It's team culture. You have to have the right team culture, and that's the number one tactic. Get in there, get the right people in there, get them to buy into what your program is. Make them understand that their responsibility is to become part of the program, and not the program become to their liking if they don't like what we're doing here. So we have to have the right kids in there, and then we coach them up.
So has there ever been a time where you had to make any adjustment in your coaching scheme at all?
Oh, every year. We're always adjusting. You know, I've been at this long enough to know that there's a lot of things that I don't know. So we, as a coaching staff, we're continually trying to get better at what we do. So we're students of the game. And we understand that what worked last year may not work this year. So it depends on who's in the gym and who we're coaching, and we adjust accordingly. You know, we have to go to where they learn best. And that has changed over 2 generations of players.
All right, and our last question. So your players seem to have this chemistry that is unlike any other team on campus. How do you maintain the morale within the team?
First, you got to find the right kids. You got to go out there and you got to hit the pavement pretty hard looking for the right people that are going to fit again into your culture. Once you bring them in, they understand what the culture is. They understand the expectations. We recruit, we require, and we relate to them. You know, we will recruit the best players. Now we're going to require them to reach the standard that we have set. And they're going to relate with them because you know, they're still 18 to 22-year-olds, and sometimes 17. But we have to understand where they are too, and coach accordingly to who's in the gym again.
Well, that's definitely a great motto to have: recruit, require, and relate.
Yes.
Relate, definitely, that hits really well. So now that's all we have today for SU Coaches Corner. Thank you, Coach Tom, for joining me today. I'm Gian Fabian, your host. Tune in next week.